keeping us safe using artificial intelligence. I'm Tonya Hall for ZDNet and Tech Republic, and joining me is David Selinger. He is the co-founder and CEO of Deep Sentinel. Welcome, David.
Hey, Tonya, glad to be here.
So what problem does Deep Sentinel intend to solve, and what motivated you to start the company?
So the space that we're tackling is home security, and the personal story for me about what kind of like pushed me over the edge. I was doing a lot of projects at home. I was taking some time off after my last gig and doing a lot of research in artificial intelligence, specifically in deep neural networks. And my neighbor, about a quarter of a mile down the road, had a horrible experience. They had a home invasion. And so, as you might imagine, the whole neighborhood gets up in arms. And I volunteered to try to figure out what we can do as a neighborhood to prevent this. And my high level learning was that all the technology available to us to try to protect our homes was really felt like it was from the last century. I mean, burglar alarms, they are rampant in terms of the amount of false alarms they have. Police forces don't even know what to do with all the false alarms they get. And cameras, if you're not sitting there watching your Ring alerts all day long, really can't be effective at preventing crime. And I was just blown away by that, honestly. And I believe that there was a better solution. And so what we built at Deep Sentinel was a combination of that AI research that I was doing in deep neural networks with the best type of cameras that we could get out there. And then the most important thing that we layered on top of it is a surveillance service to actually watch your home 24/7 and make sure that as soon as somebody sets foot on your property, within 30 seconds, we're able to holler at them and tell them to leave.
You released a study recently that referred to the fact that dozens of cities across the country have adopted a no non-response policy for home security alarms due to false alarms. Talk about that a
Yep.
little bit more.
Yeah. So I had no idea about this until this home invasion happened. And so I called our local police department. And what they told me was that about 90 to 99% of the calls that they get from burglar alarm companies are just false alarms. It's windy and the wind blew a tree and triggered a motion sensor inside the home. It's windy, it blew a door open. My daughter forgot to lock the front door, and so the dog pushed it open. And so there's just all these different reasons that it happens. And so it overwhelms the police departments in terms of their ability to respond. And so that was obviously very scary for me to learn that because of that, a lot of police forces have adopted a policy that states unless there's someone at the home that says I'm scared or I feel like I'm unsafe, we can't guarantee that we're going to actually respond to your burglar alarm.
Explain how Deep Sentinel uses artificial intelligence and machine vision to predict and detect criminal activity.
Yeah, so the basic concept is not that dissimilar from what you would do as a human being. We put an array of cameras outside your home. Our starter pack has 3 of them. They're wireless. I don't have one here, otherwise I'd show you. But you stick them outside, and you use the AI and computer vision to watch to see, is this a tree blowing in the wind? Is it a car driving by that's just your neighbor and we don't need to worry about him? Or is this somebody actually intending to come onto your property? Is it someone loitering on your property? Is it someone standing at your front door not leaving? And that's a combination of computer vision, which is an old technology, with artificial intelligence, the deep neural networks, which has really only come about in the last 5 years, which can tell the difference between a person, a dog, a cat, your neighbor versus a car, all of those different things. And what we do then is we put what's called human in the loop artificial intelligence. As soon as we're able to detect this is a potentially real threat, we bring a surveillance agent onto the system, and they evaluate, is this person acting suspicious? Are they just a homeowner returning home from work? And they make a determination of whether they need to intervene or not.
You've chosen human detection over face detection. Why?
Yeah. And that's a really good question. So the majority of actual burglar and home security events happen across a broad span of your home, right? It's not just your front door that you're protecting. You got to protect your driveway. You've got to protect your back fence. And so because of that, you have a wide field of view. You've got to look at the entire perimeter of the property as much as possible. And so when you do that, when you expand the field of view, the number of pixels that the computer and the camera are able to detect from a face become very, very few. And so running facial recognition for that is too hard for that particular problem. Now, that's not to say that Deep Sentinel doesn't have a facial recognition camera coming out very soon, which we may or may not have. But for the first product that we're launching, it's really designed to protect the entire perimeter of your property. And therefore, we can't do the combination of that and facial recognition at the same time.
How did you build the data set beneath the artificial intelligence?
That's a great question. It was just brute force is the answer. So we just started collecting data on as many homes as we could. I reached out to all my friends who already had camera systems. We started installing cameras on people's homes. We collected every piece of information we could off of the internet, and then we just iterated. And so right now we have our system in beta at a number of homes, and we just combine all of these different data sets. We actually hand label all of them. So when an event comes in, we say, this is a person, this is a dog, this is a cat, this is a car, this is just shadows of trees. And we hand label, and we built our own custom data set, which is now terabytes large, so that we can train our artificial intelligence.
How long does it take your system to detect that a threat is present?
So that's a great question. One of the key things that we learned is that speed is super, super important. An average burglar only lasts a couple of minutes. And so we actually move all the AI to the edge so that it can be really fast. And I do have an example of that I can kind of grab here and show you. So what we did as a part of the system was we built a hub. And this hub has an actual processor in it, not like your router that you would get at Home Depot, or sorry, at Best Buy or something like that. It has a full GPU in it, which is the special computational chip that is used to compute artificial intelligence. So we built our own hub, put that AI on the edge, and that way it can do it in a matter of milliseconds. We're down to about 90 milliseconds usually for us to be able to make those decisions.
When do you launch?
So we're launching in winter of 2018. So we actually have homes that are live right now. We have a whole bunch of units that are in manufacturing in China right now. And so as soon as those kind of trickle their way through all the tariffs and whatnot to America, then we'll be in good shape and shipping them out to our first customers.
You advertise no false alarms ever. Is anything ever 100% foolproof?
That's a great question. When you look at the false alarms of the burglar universe, right? You're talking about like a tree triggering this. Because we put the human in the loop, we combine artificial intelligence and our human in the loop, we're able to remove all of those. And then just to make doubly sure, the other thing that we did is we added both a protocol and a really simple technology, which is two-way audio. And so we verify all of our criminal activity verbally. So it's not like we're going to call the police and say, hey, I just see a guy out there and it looks like he's acting suspicious on the lawn. We're going to come over the two-way audio. We're going to say, hey, stop what you're doing. I want to verify that you have a good intent at this home. And so by the time I call the police, by the time our surveillance agents call the police, we've already spoken with the potential suspect. And we tell the police, we've asked him to leave. We've asked him to stop. And he's refused to do that.
David Selinger, co-founder and CEO of Deep Sentinel, keeping us safe through artificial intelligence and human detection. If somebody wants to connect with you, maybe they want to find out more about your work, or maybe they want to be safe, how can they do that?
Yeah, so I am reachable on Twitter. I'm Dave Selinger on Twitter, and also on our website, deepsentinel.com. We have a live customer service. If you're interested in the product and interested in being safe, you're certainly welcome to go to www.deepsentinel.com and reach out to us.
Thanks again, David. And if you want to find more of my interviews, you could do that right here on ZDNet or Tech Republic, or maybe go to my website, tonyahall.net. I've got links to all my social sites. Thanks for watching.